Okie dokie boys and girls, it is day 347 of bulking to 75 kilos with calisthenics only, and today we have another push day. Now, it's gonna be a day of challenging myself in the push-up endurance aspect, which is gonna be the second part of the workout, but you know, it's gonna be an important challenge because oftentimes I feel like when we try to challenge ourselves or try to aim for a goal, we always want to wait for the perfect opportunity, you know, we want to feel perfect and, you know, of course, give it our best, which is a good thing, but sometimes I feel like, you know, the perfect moment doesn't exist, so why wait for it, or why try to wait for it, you know? And it's not like when you challenge yourself, right, that you only have one opportunity. When you try something new, it's not like you only have one opportunity. You can try as many times as you want when it comes to training. So for me, you know, my goal on the push-ups is to do 10 sets of 50, but if I fail today, you know, I can still try next time and next time and next time. I'm gonna fail many times, right? So in a sense, there's no real purpose or no real meaning in trying to wait for the perfect moment. And, you know, that's why today I really feel like, you know, the best time to challenge myself to try and do those push-ups is today. Like, I guess there's this saying, right? Like the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. It's kind of the same thing with that. It's kind of the same thing with New Year's resolutions as well, where people, they wait for the new year to start trying new stuff and challenging themselves and aiming for new ambitions. But you know, if you really want to do something, start today, right? Today is the perfect timing to start because you're gonna run into trouble anyway, right? It's not like when you wait for a certain date or you wait for a certain condition to be fulfilled that suddenly, you know, everything's gonna be perfect and there's gonna be no trouble. So I would just say when you have something in your mind that you really want to try and challenge, go and fucking do it. It's the same with training for the planche, for example, where, you know, people put these conditions on themselves like, oh, I have to do, you know, a bodyweight dip before I can start training the planche, or I need the handstand push-up before I can start training the planche. No, you don't. You're setting those conditions on yourself and those barriers, but in reality, even if you surpass those barriers, even if you do those things, you're still gonna run into trouble. So, you know, when you want to do something, fucking go for it. That's what I'm gonna do today. But first of all, we have a bit of a planche workout, and it's gonna be a lighter one. Like I said, I've been feeling a bit under the weather the last couple of days. I'm still feeling it today, but you know, even if the condition is not perfect, I want to try those push-ups. But that does not mean that I'm just gonna completely trash myself all the way. For the planche, you know, I'm just gonna make sure that I try to focus a bit more on form. Oftentimes, when you are feeling bad or not feeling 100% in your training, especially in skill training, it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to, you know, take a step back because you've got nothing to lose anyway. You've got nothing to prove, you know. You've already won by starting your training even though you're feeling like shit. So now, when you've taken that step back, you can use the opportunity to work on technique and improve that way. And that's what I'm gonna try and do today. I'm gonna start with the supine in the planche, do a couple hold sets. If I feel okay, I'll do full planche. If I don't, I won't. And basically, some supine in the planche, some normal planche, and yeah, focus on technique and go from there. Let's get started with a quick warm-up set. All right. All right. Whew. All right. I'm saying all right a lot. Let's just keep going with these sets. All right, so trying to focus on form does not mean that the form is instantly gonna be good. Focusing on form means trying to improve it. And so I rewatched the sets. That was not a good form by any means, but you know, at least I can watch the sets and then try to fix it on the next one. However, 2 holds, I think it's enough for today. It feels heavy already. I'm just gonna do 1 YOLO attempt of a planche push-up, but other than that, a couple sterile planche holds, and then we can move on to normal parallettes planche. Holy fucking shit. Alright. Alright, fuck. Okay, so I originally wanted to do like a lot of like lighter sits on the normal planche, but change of plans. I'm gonna do few sits, perhaps one or two, and make the sits hard, make them intense. Yeah, alright. One set will be enough. Okie dokie, you know the drill. Planche workout completed, push-up endurance workout starts. And just like always, or at least for the last couple workouts, I'm gonna be starting with the Japanese push-ups, where I put my feet up on the chair, so it's a decline push-up, and I use these bars and I hit my chest on the weight right here to make sure that I'm going deep enough. But these push-ups, they will really hit my chest. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna retract my shoulders to open up the chest to target it better. And you're gonna see that I also have a bit of an arch because of that. It's like when you create an arch or when you retract your shoulders in the bench press, you also have a bit of an arch. It's kind of the same thing here, but I'm gonna aim for my 10 sets of 50 push-ups. Is it gonna happen? Most likely not, because at the moment my PR is like 7 sets, right? And I'm not even feeling 100% today, but like I mentioned, there is no perfect timing to start, right? So the best way to start is to start right now. And there is nothing you can lose from just giving an honest shot to whatever you're trying to achieve. So for me, I want to achieve the 10 sets of 50, you know, and I'm gonna give it my all today to hit that target. But if I don't, you know, no problem. I'll just do the remainder of the push-ups in kind of a different pattern. So, you know, the bare minimum, sick or not, cold or not, it's still 500 push-ups. That's what I'm gonna try and hit today. But let's get started. I'm doing one set every 3 minutes, so 50 push-ups. I guess it takes me like 40 seconds. The remainder of the time is rest time. If my set, you know, if it becomes more difficult and I take a break in between, that's okay. But that also means that I have less rest time until the next set. So let's get spamming. Let's get to some push-ups. yes! Fuck yes! That's 10 sets of 50. Not even that, you know. On 2 sets, I accidentally did 60 reps. What the fuck? And you know, the last few sets, the form may have been bad. I might have forgotten to lock out my arms. But holy fucking shit. I couldn't give 2 flying fucks. I'm stronger than last time. That's all that matters. And I'm feeling sick. You know, I have a sore throat. I have no energy. And I'm fucking stronger than last time. You know what? I didn't even expect to get a fucking PR today. But then, on set number 2, it was hard already. But, you know, you have nothing to lose. You're in a bad situation already. You won because you started. You won because you got to your training and you got started anyway, even though you didn't feel like it. You already won. You have nothing to lose anymore. So go for set number 3. Go for set number 4, you know? Even if it sucks. You already won the battle. So I just kept fucking going. And then suddenly, set number 6 was there. And then 7. That matches my PR. On set number 8, I was like, holy fucking shit. I guess this is a PR. I guess I can stop. But then I was thinking, you know, like, I can stop, that's true. But I can also keep going. 2 more sets until fucking 10. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know? Because I'm never gonna get to this point where, you know, I'm sick, you know, and I have the ability to reach 10 sets of 50 for the first time while being sick. That's a fucking rare opportunity. You should make use of it, you know, make use of your bad situation. I'm fucking yapping, but I'm fucking stoked. And I'm pumped to shit. Let's check it out. That's 520 push-ups today. You know? What the fuck? Alright, so I can have the pump speak for itself, but ooh, these push-ups really hit the fucking chest like no tomorrow. Yeah, my chest is just bloated. You know, I was taking some memos on the amount of push-ups I did, and when I grabbed the paper and I went like this, my chest just started cramping. So that's some serious business. But anyway, that's it for today's training. Looks like the next time, the next push-ups training, I'll be making the sets a bit longer, which is fucking scary, but also excited, you know. And let's get back to the topic, you know, in the beginning of this video. When we start training, right, we set all of these goals for ourselves. And, you know, oftentimes the goals, well, we are attached to them and it starts to become fucking scary to get started on something. So maybe you've got this goal in your mind that you want to lose 10 kilos, or you've got this goal in your mind that you want to gain 5 kilos, right? And you know it's gonna take a commitment. So instead of getting started, what we often do, or what I often do, is, you know, we set these benchmarks for ourselves, you know, or these artificial, like, excuses, I guess, to allow ourselves to postpone the goal. So, you know, when we want to bulk, oh, you know, we're gonna do it after the New Year's, you know, it's gonna be a New Year's goal, or people waiting for the winter arc. It's the same thing. And, you know, even in my case, you know, I want to start training endurance. I want to start becoming good at running. And even I set some milestones for myself before I get started on that, you know. Like, I want to do the bulk for 1 year first before I get started. It's the same thing. It's not always a bad thing, but oftentimes it can also be self-sabotaging. And especially when it comes to dates, like, who cares if it's fucking the 1st of January or March 28th? Like, no one gives a fuck, right? It's the same thing. The best day to start is just like when you have this idea in your mind and you've had it for a while, you know, ask yourself, if I don't get started with this today and I die tomorrow, you know, and I think about this, am I going to be happy that I didn't start yet? If the answer is no, then you should fucking get started today. Like, sometimes the answer is yes. Yes, I would be happy. For example, in my case, if I, you know, tomorrow somehow it ends and, you know, I think to myself, like, am I happy that I didn't even get to run? Well, of course I won't be happy, but I also won't be unsatisfied because I know I was postponing it for a different goal which I want to achieve first. But sometimes we put these things in front of us that like really don't matter. For example, the date, right? And that's just holding yourself back. So there is no perfect moment to start, you know? There is no getting started when you're less busy. There is no getting started when, you know, you've got your diet in order. There is no getting started when your studies are done. Like, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, you're gonna run into problems anyway. So you might as well run into the problems sooner than later. And guess what? If you spin it around, if you start on like some journey, whether it be losing weight or gaining muscle or achieving a planche, if you start in difficult times, you're already ahead because you know how to deal with the difficult times. So when it becomes easier, you're gonna make even more progress. And when it goes back to hard times, you're already used to it. So, you know, I guess it's like the fucking stock market, I guess, where you jump in when everything's like on fire, you know, because then it's low and it's gonna be booming again after a while. But, you know, that's just how I look at it. Anyway, that's it for today's training. I don't even have to fucking mention it, but I'm happy with how it went, of course. And yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a pull day. I'm gonna go or try and go to bed early again, get a good night's sleep, get this fucking cold out of the way so that we can go hard. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.